Today is Wednesday, July the 1st, and it is Canada Day, and so I'm heading out to celebrate Canada Day. And it's before the McClellan oscillator is published, but it's not going to change very much because the advancers and decliners were so close. We might see the McClellan tick down just a tiny bit, but today was a down day for the Dow pretty much from the first hour. NASDAQ looks like it made a new high. We'll take a look at the chart. S&P 500, but the volume, which we're only going to get from the McClellan data, I really can't show you. But remember yesterday we were talking about Fibonacci patterns. Well, we see them really clearly today. So here's the Dow Jones, and look at this Fibonacci. Let's take out the Bollinger Bands. Let's just leave everything else, and look at that. 78.6% retrace from the pre-corona high. Tried to bump over it, could not, and came back down. NASDAQ pretty much right here. Let's get rid of this Fibonacci, and let's get rid of this as well. And we have just over 114.6% for the NASDAQ. So it closed at a new high. That's pretty powerful. The S&P 500 bumped off the gap. See here? It just touched the gap perfectly, and that is also 78.6% of a retrace. So the Fibonacci's are ruling on the S&P 500. Apple, we're going to see, also had its encounter with, let's see, where are we here? Let's see, 50 primary analysis. Look at this one. Whoops, certainly don't want to look at that one. 127.2 bumped up, did not make a new high closing today. In fact, it made its high back here on June 23rd. It's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days where it hasn't been able to break that, but it is over the 127.2. Caterpillar, I seem to have lost my Fibonacci's. Facebook had this is a weekly. Let's look at the daily. Let's get rid of the Ichimoku here and the time frame. And you can see that it topped out at 127.2%, then pulled back down to 88.7%, and is now popped up, it's popped up over just below, still reaching for the 127.2, but it's surprising that Facebook is doing so well given the advertisers. But somebody said that if all the advertisers boycott, it only works out to the advertisers who have announced only work out to 6% of their advertising revenue. So that's interesting. NVIDIA, I've lost all of my Fibonacci's. I apologize. But NVIDIA, you'll see, let's just move on. Netflix. Hey, I was supposed to go to a Rolling Stones concert tonight. Doesn't that suck? Home Depot. There's the Fibonacci. 127.2 was the stop, and it's pulled back. Let's go back to Amazon, and let's look at that one. 138.2%. It has moved above that one. So Amazon is a strong stock. Home Depot, we saw that one. NVIDIA, 150%, pulled back to the 138.2, back up to the 150. Freeport-McMoRan. This is a play on copper and on infrastructure, if we think there's going to be any infrastructure. And look at this, 78.6. If you want to buy FCX, it's a pretty good price, but let's make sure that it crosses the 78.6%, comes down and retests it, and then we buy it. That would be a good one to buy, but the SMIs show that it might be a little bit overbought and due for a bit of a pullback, maybe down to the 200, to the 61.8. So somewhere along here, the 200 and the 61.8% are going to meet, and that would be an excellent time to buy that stock. If you're looking for play on copper and on infrastructure, that would be my choice. And FSLY, wasn't that an Andy pick? Look at that, unbelievable. CrowdStrike is making new highs, but pulled back. So you got right here where you had its previous high, and it closed today over that high. So that's looking like a pretty strong stock as well. And gold miners, oof, lots of dirt there. Let's look at the trend line, and we don't have the trend line. But anyways, we had a trend line, and it was looking like this. Something like that. Might have been this. Not really. Anyways, it's not anything that I'd be interested in buying right now. Sorry to cut it so short, and I really don't think, I'm sorry this hasn't been very informative, but I still believe the market is in a consolidation period, and it has been since it pulled back here on June the 6th. So the whole month of June, we saw nothing but consolidation. A gap down, unable to beat the gap, kept getting restricted by the gap, and today moved back by the gap, held back by the gap. So I'm just looking at consolidation and possible down move. I don't know if the market's open on Friday. Let's check. Tomorrow might be the last day of the week.